Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. Well, I haven't said that in a long time. Yeah, I honestly, I don't think I've made a video specifically designed for me to put on BBB in months. I did recently do a video with some ants, and I went ahead and posted it on Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, but it wasn't really something that I had planned on, posting. I just thought it was really cool and wanted to film it, and I made the decision later that I would go ahead and post it. This one I'm specifically making for Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and again, like I said, it's probably been 3 months. I'd say maybe 3 months since I've actually filmed a video specifically to put on here. So anyway, I have been busy. I've gone out in the woods a few times, not a whole lot, but I have gone out a few times. The urge to go out and spend a night or two in the woods is starting to come back. I would really like to set up an overnight soon, and I should film that. It's not 100% sure I would film it, but I would like to. But I do really want to get out there. I have been training and teaching more, so that has dipped into my ability to take off and go out in the woods for any length of time, because I just don't have the ability to gather up gear and just disappear into the woods for a day or two. I've got too much to do at the dojo. So anyway, not that the dojo's doing great. I'm not doing any better than I have been any other time. I just spending more time there. Anyway, I posted a video last month on my potatoes, and I want to do an update on those, and I think it would be really cool. I don't recall doing any videos from the very first time that I planted them until now, so there's a huge difference. Plus, Michelle and I last month purchased a couple tomato plants, and they are on her channel, Way to Sun. So if you want to see the growth of the tomatoes, it would probably be best to go to her channel and look at some of her videos. Okay, I have no idea what happened to my computer or my camera. SD card was jacking up. Anyway, I put a different SD card in it. Had to do a little fooling around, but maybe it'll be alright. So anyway, I really don't know where I left off. I was talking about the tomatoes. Anyway, here we go. Let's look at the tomatoes. And like I said, when Michelle and I first purchased them, one plant had 2 tomatoes and the other plant had no tomatoes. And let's take a look at them. So here are the potatoes. These things are doing fan-freaking-tastic. I'm really expecting some decent potatoes this time. As you can see here, a couple of them are from the original plant, probably, or popped up, but and see, like that one there from the original when I planted it, most likely, maybe, or not. There's a lot of, but these are doing fantastic, and these will be ready next month. I will pull these out next month, and hopefully I'm going to do some indoor potatoes this time. And now let's look at the tomatoes. And again, as I said, look how One of them's already turning red. Look at that. One plant had 2 and the other plant had none. So we have already picked 2, one from each plant, and had some fried green tomatoes, and that video is on Michelle's. But let's kind of count, and we will include the 2 that that we had already picked, so we can kind of get a good. We took 1 from each plant, so we'll start with 1, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So this plant has produced so far. Oh. 6. Got one right there. Alright, so there's 6 of them on this plant. And let's go over to this plant here. So we'll start with 1, because we've already pulled 1 off. It was right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. Look at that. They got 2 more growing right there. Adorable. So 6 on one and 7 on the other, and that's pretty much. And we spent $10 on both plants, and so far we've grabbed 2 of them for fried green tomatoes. I think we'll probably, well, we might grab 1 more for a fried green tomato, but I think the rest of them are probably gonna go until it gets ripe. And this one looks like it's gonna be the first one. So there are the tomatoes. Michelle is very proud at being able to grow these plants, because she says she kills dirt. So this is actually the first real good planting that her and I have had with tomatoes, and her with just plants in general. So speaking of plants in general, we have these plants over here, and they are growing tremendously. This one I think came from her dad's funeral. I think this is one of the plants from that. We have these purple ones, and in the back there some reddish orange ones. But this plant right here is the one I really like. We got this at Walmart. It was on sale for a couple bucks, and it was at least half that size when we got it. And it is, I don't know what it is, but I really like it. It's freaking adorable. And it produced, let's see if I can go over here, I can show you. It produced these really cool looking purple flowers. It's pretty cool. And again, I don't know what it is, but I really like it. And look at that, it's starting to grow down there. It's just really blooming out. I wish I had a place to where it could just plant it in the ground and actually let it just grow, but we can't do that right now. So anyway, we've got these 4 plants right here that are doing really well. We have the 2 tomato plants that are doing fantastic and are producing some really good tomatoes for us. And then my potato, well, our potato plants, and we'll see what we can produce from those. And this all came from 1 potato, I think this all came from 1 potato. I'll have to review the video. Nope, I take that back. It was 2 potatoes. There were 2 different potatoes that I cut up. We ate most of both of those potatoes, and I planted these 3 pots with pieces from those 2 tomatoes that were that had eyes on them. So we ate most of the 2 potatoes that these came from, but a couple few eyes I was able to plant. So these all came from 2 potatoes, and we'll see how many potatoes we get at the end of this next month out of a handful of eyes that I cut off of a couple potatoes. So we'll see.